And, folks are asking me like, okay, so is it super different going from like, being a director of analytics or manager of analytics to, like working in customer facing positions? And the thing is for me, it really, there was a lot of transferable skills and activities there, because especially as I got into more of the programmatic leadership type roles, I was selling all the time, right? Like I had to train people on the data products, so pretty similar to training people on software tools. And I had to sell the value of those data products. Same thing as selling the value of a software tool, so, and internal conversations with internal clients, or stakeholders are very similar in nature to conversations with external customers.
But if you look at the Venn diagram, there's a lot of overlap in the middle. Right. And so the key, especially in pivoting between different industries, because I have done a lot, I've contracted where I've worked from everybody from small businesses to Fortune 100 companies, to government, to corporate, to finance, to academia, to startups, you name it. And really the key is finding those commonalities and finding those transferable skills, and then being able to leverage them across roles, because they're not really at the core competency level. Problem solving is the same, communication, it might be a little bit different, but at the end of the day, it's the same. There's so many transferable skills that you can leverage, and that makes it a lot easier to be able to explore these kind of pivots.
What would you say? So you worked on kind of technical projects, in the data space, but you also, to your point, worked on, programmatic type work. Yeah. You mentioned data literacy, data governance. And so there's kind of a difference between hands-on technical work, and actually doing the analysis, coding, things like that, and then being a programmatic lead. Like between all of those experiences, like what do you think was the experience or experiences that prepared you best for this kind of a pivot that you're making?
That's a really good question. What's funny is that I don't think it was the data experience. I think it was all of the things that I did within being a data analyst that really helped prepare me for this. A lot of the infrastructure pieces, obviously it's funny, my first project that I worked on, if I can kind of back up and tell the story about how I first landed my first job as a data analyst. I had worked in higher ed. I was working in fundraising, specifically in a development office, and working more on the programmatic administrative side. Okay. I was working with our plan giving program, or like bequests and wills and estates and things like that. So I was walking in and realized we have a lot of historical data that's just like, it's not up to date. They were all in the physical files out in the hall in the filing cabinets. And I was one of those people who, being very operationally minded, I was like, no, I can't. We got to clean this up, right?